Episode 41, 5 to 1 80s songs.
Well, I did it awesome. Kay did it terrible.
Why was Cade's terrible?
Because he just got jet jammed.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 5 to 1. 5 to 1 is all about the countdown from our panel of experts on a different topic each week. Today, we are featuring the best songs from the 80s in our style of counting down from
5 to 1.
To put it quite simply, the 80s were awesome. They were the best. It was
the best decade.
It just kind of sucks that there was like no pop culture at all. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Don't.
It was, in my opinion, the best decade in recent history to be a child. The pop culture was great for those coming of age. The movies, the cartoons, the TV shows, and of course, our focus for today, the music. MTV became a thing, and they actually focused on music videos. Kids still played outside. Riding bikes was still a thing. Helicopter parenting didn't exist in anyone's lexicon yet. Kids had the freedom to be kids and had the best era of pop culture to coincide with it. And it's my firm belief that growing up a child in the 80s will be looked at through the same nostalgic lens that many looked through for being a teenager in the 50s. Just my opinion. I was fortunate enough to be one of those children of the 80s, actually born in the year 1980, and you two are fortunate enough to be the children of a child of the 80s. So you've gotten a lot of knowledge through osmosis that way. But who are you two? We are back to our normal crew after a fun week with our guest host for episode number 40. I am Chris, and I'm joined by my two radical sons.
Cade Moore.
My 13-year-old.
And I'm Jet.
My 10-year-old, and we are
5 to 1.
5 to 1.
You're always late on that.
Didn't nail that. He was busy chewing his thumbnail. So, Cade and Jet, do you have any thoughts, like for real, on the 80s before we get started?
Music is a lot better than it is now. There's a lot of really good songs right now.
In the 80s, it's definitely better for kids, but I think it's probably better for an adult these days, too.
You think it's better to be a grown-up these days, but maybe better to be a kid in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I think I would probably agree with that. Anything else on the 80s before we get on to the other stuff?
Great decade.
Great decade.
Moving on.
Moving on, indeed. You guys both said that at the same time. That was pretty trippy.
Well, I did it awesome. Kay did it terrible.
Why was Cade's terrible?
Because he just got jet jammed.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the...
Pew, pew, pew,
Good.
pew.
Glenn Solomon fun fact of the week.
Pew, pew, pew,
Good.
pew.
I have a couple fun facts about the 80s. The first one, in the year 1980, the first 1 gigabyte hard drive cost $40,000 and it weighed over 500 pounds.
1 gigabyte.
For 1 gig.
It's not one. That's not even like one song. It's like
No, it's
3.
No. It's a lot more than 3 songs, but it's not big at all compared to today's hard drives that are 3 terabytes, which is each terabyte is 1,024 gigabytes. So
Imagine how much that would have cost in the 80s.
a lot. You really need to talk into your mic.
All right.
Okay. So 500 pounds, $40,000. In the 1980s, Domino's Pizza had a campaign centered around the Noid. Have you guys ever seen the Noid before?
No.
So Domino's it was like their mascot. It was this little guy. He had a red and blue suit, and he had these kind of like
Did you hear
ears on it.
Domino's, they're making a new car.
No, I did not hear about
It's like
the
a
Domino's
really
car.
nice-
Self-driving car. It delivers pizza to you, but
Yeah.
there's no one in the car.
Huh.
Seriously?
I watched a video on it a few days ago.
I had not heard about that. But they did used to have a mascot called the Noid. And I remember seeing it as a kid, and I always wondered, like, why did they get rid of the Noid? Well, I found out today when I was doing research for Fun Fact of the Week. It was discontinued in 1989 after a guy who was mentally ill. His name was Kenneth Noid. He took Domino's pizza workers hostage because he thought the ads were a personal attack on him.
He's insane.
Oh.
Yeah.
And another good thing from the 80s, I don't see this address here. Right down here, dude. Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Is that because we're talking about Domino's?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
my last fun fact of the week is when he turned 18, a man named Lawrence Turode legally changed his name to Mr. T. You know Mr. T?
Yes.
Because he wanted people to call him Mr. because he thought it was a sign of respect.
who's Mr. T again?
Clubber Lang from Rocky.
Oh.
He's also Mr. T from
I was thinking of that bald, clean guy. That clean stuff.
No, that's Mr.
Mr. Clean.
Yeah, not Mr. T. Mr. T, he's the one who he's got like the mohawk and he wears all the gold chains around his neck.
Like a ridiculous
like
I pity the fool.
That was my favorite one. That is my favorite one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, he legally changed his name to Mr. T because he thought Mr. was a sign of respect. But I would have changed my name more just because his last name sounded like turd.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's all I have for the fun facts of the week. We should probably move on to... It's time for Jet's Pun of the Week. All right, bro. What do you got?
I couldn't think of one, so I'm sorry. I'm sad.
Well, just do your best.
No, do you get it?
Was that the joke?
Yeah, I'm sad.
Mm-mm.
I'm bad.
Oh, that was really bad.
That was a terrible joke.
I couldn't. It's the best I could do. Give me a clap.
Mm-mm.
I'll give you a single clap.
That's all you get this week.
At least I thought of one.
Yeah, good job. Let's move on. Feedback. So I got a little bit of feedback from the past 2 episodes since we kind of skipped feedback last week. 2 episodes ago we had villains, and Sonia Barber said that she was glad we addressed Negan as being the worst in our villains episode.
Negan's such a jerk.
Yeah. Casey King, he said that he was fine with the feedback bumper that we just played. I'd asked a question if it was annoying. People seem to like it. In fact, when our guest hosts were here last week, they kept making the feedback sound. I guess it just annoys you guys. But when I did play it while they were here, a couple of them like pulled their headphones off. So I guess it hurts when you have headphones on while we're recording, but otherwise it's fine. On the Being an Adult episode from last week, Adriana Delgu said she loved that episode and that it was really funny and that the guest host reminded her of being with her friends. Francie Green said she thought it was sweet and it made her laugh. And the last bit is we've had a couple listeners suggest that we shorten the listener choices section at the end that we do.
Yeah, we should do that.
And we don't read off the ones that only got 1 vote.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm thinking,
Unless the funny
let's take
ones.
it a step, unless it stands out if it's really funny, but let's take it a step farther and say that we'll only read the top 5, right?
That's what I
Unless there's other funny ones that are like...
Yeah, if something stands out, but otherwise we'll just limit it to the top 5.
And listener choices, I think that's one of the newer things we do. Like for Glenn Solomon Fun Fact of the Week, that was like episode 6.
Yeah, that was like episode
Yeah.
And like
2.
listener choices was like episode 25.
Yeah, I can't remember when, but it was one of the later
How many?
editions.
What episode is this right here?
41.
41.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that much.
Yeah, this is number 41.
What if we get all the way to 420?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be so
I hope we
cool.
do.
What should that episode be on the topic?
Cade, stop. All right. This was the hardest list I've had to make so far. There are like so many great 80s songs. To narrow it down to 5 was nearly impossible. To make things a little bit easier for myself, and I don't care if you guys didn't do this, you can do it however you want, but I only chose songs that I consider to be strictly 80s songs, like the genre of 80s songs.
They sound like 80s.
Yes.
Like if you heard that song, it's like,
You're
oh,
like,
that
that's an
sounds
80s
very
song.
80s.
That is its genre. It's not a rock song. It's not a rap song. It's not a country song.
Like,
it is an 80s song.
I didn't interpret it that way, but I feel like a lot of them do sound like 80s.
Yeah.
On my list.
So that's what I stuck with, just to make it a little bit easier, but it still was really, really hard. Was it hard for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty hard.
Okay. All right, Jet. Arcade. I'm sorry. We'll start with you. What is your...
Number 5.
You know, it's pretty funny because you already played the song in the intro. It's my number 5.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't you play it? That's why we have this whole playlist thing queued up here. If you were ready, you're not. But so your song is "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake.
It gives me funny memories.
Of?
Funny memories of Family Guy.
Was it on Family Guy?
Yeah, it was. It was. So Stewie, he quit his job as an actor. And walks away and whatever. Taxi, shotgun.
I have. I think. I want to say this is the song from the movie Old School. Have you seen the movie Old School?
I feel like it was on TV one time and I was watching it, but like.
I've heard the song, but I don't know where it's from.
Well, there's a movie called Old School where I mean it's a really funny movie, but there's a scene where Will Ferrell's character is working on his car out in the driveway, like shortly after he got married, and his marriage isn't exactly like working out the way that his wife thought it would, and he's like blasting this song at maximum volume out in the it'd be like if I was out in the driveway and working on the car or something and just blasting it at max volume in the suburban neighborhood. And his wife comes out. He's like, I can't hear you. I'm pretty sure it's this song.
Do you like Will Ferrell?
Yeah, he's hilarious. This is not the real main version, is it? Let me fast forward. Yeah, this is not the...
I'm sorry, I got the wrong one, I guess. But, the other one's pretty good.
Yeah. Here I go again on my... You know that song, Jet, right?
Yeah.
There, this part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, good choice, Kate. I kind of put it in the intro because I didn't think anybody would pick it, but it's still like a classic 80s song, so I apologize for spoiling that for you.
Come on, Dad.
This one is a remaster. I'm not sure. There's a ton of them, and this one seemed the best. So
is this your number 5?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, no. Okay.
Michael Jackson?
Scared me.
Bad? Is this the one your pun was supposed to be? Is this song from the 80s?
I think it is.
I thought this was a 90s song.
It's 80s.
I'm going to look it up. Talk about, though, why it's your number 5.
I mean, I was originally going to, when I was thinking about making this list, I'm going to, have a ton of Michael Jackson songs on here.
Yeah.
But then I figured there are some really good ones. I can't just make it all. It's not... And there are some more songs I like than Michael Jackson. I'll just pick my favorite and at least put one on my list.
You're right.
It's a smart choice not to put more than one
from the same artist.
Yeah, that's what I did because I had 2 maybe from the same artist.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put another song on there because I don't want to have 2 of the same.
So you're right. This was 1987. For some reason, I thought 90s because when I think Michael Jackson 80s, I think of his Thriller album, with Beat It and Billie Jean and Thriller and Smooth Criminal and all those as his 80s songs, and this one was after that, but it was still the 80s, 1987. So you're safe.
I'm trying hard not to sing right now. I love this song.
When I was making my list today, I had a hard time not singing all of them because
so many.
I was going through so many songs, and I was kind of at my desk with my headphones on, and I was whistling and singing, and I was like, oh, I gotta have that song on my list. There were so many of them that I did that with.
Wait, are you mad because there's some songs you're like, oh, why is that not on my list?
Yeah, there's a couple that you guys will be surprised because you know that I love them, and they didn't make my top 5. All right, here's my number 5.
Oh, dangerous.
There you go. You guys like this song?
Yeah, I love this song.
So this song was interesting for me. Really, if I made this list tomorrow, it could be completely different. But this is a recent entry into my 80s favorites because I remember hearing it when I was a kid and liking it, but I hadn't heard it in seriously forever.
And then you heard on the cruise,
until they played it on the cruise. That's right. We were waiting in line for you guys to ride the Flow Rider, that surfing thing that Cade was riding, and that you did too. And it was playing in the background. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know this song. And it got stuck in my head. It just seemed perfect for that moment. And I don't know, maybe I heard this song when I was a kid at a water park, like what they used to call Wet n Wild is now Hurricane Harbor. Or maybe I heard it at Six Flags. I have a distant memory of that I attach it to. But it just felt perfect for that moment when we were there. There's all this cool stuff to do. We're waiting in line. And it was just fun. It struck a chord with me. I've enjoyed having it as an earworm since then. It's been stuck in my head a lot. This song barely made the 80s, but it sounds very 80s
89?
to me. Yeah, it was actually on a 1988 album, but the single wasn't released until 1989.
Was it 1989, December 31st?
No, it was May of 89, but it didn't peak on the charts until 1990 when it reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
So it still counts, right?
It does count, but it was just behind Janet Jackson's Escapade, if you know that song. So reach number 2, Roxette, Dangerous. I really,
Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, brother, right?
it's Janet is the sister. So yeah,
I like the song Scream with both of them.
that's both of them. At the time, that was the most expensive video ever created. I'm sure it's been passed since then, but
yeah, by like
a million videos probably by now. But yeah, Roxette's Dangerous is my number 5.
All right, Kate's turn.
All right, Cade, what's your
Number 4.
I love this song. I knew this was going to be on your list.
it has to be.
Jet, you know this song, right?
Yeah.
Who is it? What's the name of the song?
Wait, I need to get to the chorus.
I'll skip
Give it
ahead.
away.
Madonna.
No.
Dang it, Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody. This song kind of made like a comeback because it was sampled in like a popular song a year or two ago, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, there was a remake of it.
Yeah. And like that's how a lot of younger kids.
And me and Kate were like, this song's not bad. Then we heard like the real version, like this is the crap.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
I remember telling you like the original is way better. Yeah.
But the other new one was actually not that bad.
It was okay. So, Cade, why is this your number 4?
I remember I heard this for like. This is like my first time you told me about the song. I've heard it before, but I never like, fully like just listened to it. We were in the car coming back from wrestling practice.
Yeah.
I was playing on the radio. And he's like, and you're like, name the song. I'm like, I've heard it before, but I don't know who it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I kind of like that song. I'll listen to it later. And then I listened to it later. I'm like, okay, this is one of my new favorite songs.
I remember there was one day, I don't know what you were doing upstairs. If you were like you were probably working out because you used to work out up there after school. And I heard the song like blasting on the speakers. And I was like, oh, he does like this song. Because I remember that time when we were in the car. So, yeah, you've always liked this one.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. It was an honorable mention for me.
It was coming back from a good practice, too, so it was a good time.
Yeah, you always do feel
I
better
got a
after
better
good
one,
practice.
though.
I there were some songs that I considered for my list, but I left them off because I'm like, oh, the boys will have that on theirs, and this was one of them. I love this song too.
All right, you ready for mine?
Sure, Jet. What's your
Wait, hold on, my phone turned off.
What's your number 4? We're on number 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 4 is.
Ooh, baby, do you know that's what
I heard you singing this a little while ago.
heaven is a place on earth.
Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle.
I love this song.
It was a good
Sounds
song.
so 80s.
It does sound very 80s.
So it's an honorable mention.
Now that I think about it, 80s decade rocks 90s.
I told you, man. It's the pop music that does. The
Yeah.
rock music,
Rap.
90s is better. Rap, 90s is better. But pop music,
80s.
80s. 80s for sure. So, yeah, this is another one that was on my honorable mention list. I don't even want to call it that. I made a list of like 35 songs when I just thought of what songs I want to put, and this was on there.
Do you like this one or the last one better?
I feel like this one sounds more like quintessentially 80s, but I probably like Cade's a little bit better. Cade, you can't play your song yet, bro.
I'm not playing.
Oh, okay. But I probably like I Want to Dance with Somebody a little bit better, but I like this one
mine
a lot
better.
too.
See, I was thinking of that one too, but I think I like this one better.
This is a great song. I love this song too. Classic 80s song for sure.
What year was this in the 80s?
I don't know. Talk about it for a second and I'll look it up for you.
So I love this song, but I have like no idea who sings it.
Belinda Carlisle is the singer. Let's see. It was 1987. Another one from 87.
It feels like a lot of the songs I like are from the late 80s.
This hit number 1 on the Billboard charts in December of 1987. So you've had 2 from 87.
Yeah.
I think Belinda Carlisle, she was the lead singer of another band, the Go-Go's. It was like an all-female band, and then she went out on her own and had her own career. So, yeah.
This one, this is the only song I've heard of her. Like,
It's her most popular song.
Yeah.
The
for
same
sure.
from the last one. I like Whitney Houston a lot more than Madonna and Mariah Carey in them.
Do you?
Yeah, but she's wasn't she a drug addict?
Yeah, she died of a drug overdose.
wasn't it cocaine? Pretty sure it was.
I think it was a mix of stuff.
Because I saw in the living room they were watching. There was like a documentary on Whitney Houston.
Did she die of that, or was it suicide?
It was drugs.
I think it was drugs. She had a drug problem for a long, long time. They were all, I mean, mega superstars. I would say Madonna was probably a bigger star in the 80s than Whitney Houston was, but then Whitney Houston probably passed her in the 90s.
Mariah Carey's my least favorite.
Mariah Carey was a huge star in the 90s and the 2000s.
She's so annoying in real life, though.
She is really annoying. But when she was younger, she was very different. At least her image was very different.
Was she like nice?
She came across that way, and her songs were very
Humble?
like. She came across that way, yeah. And her songs were very, like, they were pretty. They were pretty songs.
She's a walking stereotype.
And she had a beautiful voice, right? And then when she ended up getting divorced from her husband, who was also the record label owner. He owned the whole thing, big shot. And she, like, got all, on... She wanted to be different. So her style of music changed. She no longer sang these really beautiful songs with her beautiful voice. And she became more of, like, I guess what you call a diva. The way that she comes across.
But she was
now.
like really nice, and
I don't know. I never knew her personally, but that was her image before.
But her image was
yeah.
But then
she should have just stayed with her image.
Yeah, but I guess in her words, that wasn't her. That was what her husband wanted her to be. And then when they got divorced, she could be her own person, which in my mind is not as good of a person. So, but I mean, I don't want to say that. It's not like she's a bad person, but she comes across as like lazy and entitled, I guess.
Whitney Houston or Beyonce?
Singing? I mean, Whitney Houston has by far better voice. Whitney Houston has a beautiful voice. Beyonce probably has more hits at this point. I mean, she keeps cranking out like mega hits year after year.
I like Beyonce.
Like
I like her too. All right, you guys ready for my number 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know this song, right?
Yeah.
It's called If You Leave by Orchestral Maneuvers.
Wait, is this Don't You
Honorable mention.
Forget About
No.
Me?
No.
Dang it. That was.
Here, I'll fast forward a bit.
Oh.
You know this song?
Yeah.
It's called If You
I
Leave.
love this one.
It's
Honorable mention.
If You Leave by Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, which is also known as OMD. It's another song that I know I've heard like a million times, but I kind of forgotten about it. And here in Dallas, we had a radio station called 102.1 The Edge that was like...
Is that like your favorite?
I loved that station when I was growing up. When I was a teenager, it was kind of like...
Did they cancel it or something?
They sold, and they're now Star 102.1, and it's not rock music anymore. They play like just kind of a mix. But they played this song a lot. This song comes on like once a day on that station. It seems like, and I don't listen to the radio a lot, so I don't get tired of it. But I'm sad about the Edge going away. But the bonus is that they do play this song a lot. And I left off a few songs overall that I probably like more than this one if you consider the big picture. But since it's got a recent return to my fandom, it gives it a little bump up for right now. So for now, it's my number 4. It was in the Pretty in Pink soundtrack in 1986. That's a classic John Hughes movie. He did a lot of 80s movies like the Breakfast
Hughes
Club
is.
Pretty in Pink, and it peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1980.
There's a lot of stuff from the 80s on the board.
Well, Billboard is they chart music.
Yeah.
Like, they still do. Like there's number 1
Every
hits right
year.
now.
Isn't
Right?
it
What
like
is
100?
the number 1 hit right now?
I don't know. I don't keep up with today's music. Are you
It's
kidding?
some Ed Sheeran,
Probably,
whatever.
yeah, some lame Ed Sheeran song. All right, Cade, what is your
Number 3.
nice?
I had to. I couldn't.
I'm really glad you put this on here because this is one that I really, really wanted on my list, and I left it off.
You should have put this one over your last one.
Well, I know, but like I said, the last one has more of a recent bump. This is Human by the Human League, right?
Yeah, it's not even their biggest hit, isn't it?
They had another one that was pretty big, but this is the one to me that's like, oh yeah, this is their like classic 80s song. I love this song.
They're kind of weird. Like,
Why are they weird?
it's like I don't know. It's just from the album cover. It's really weird.
Oh, they look weird?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like Smashing Pumpkins. They look weird to me.
and they do look weird.
Like the main.
So does
singer-
Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
I don't know what she is like.
It's a boy.
This-
It is.
Yeah.
This band's not on my list. But I'm just asking: is Smashing Pumpkins 80s or 90s?
90s.
90s, bro.
I looked it up because I really wanted them on my list.
Yeah, so I think I always thought this was weird because the name of the band is the Human League, and the name of the song is Human.
Like driving
I'm like,
cars.
did they? Yeah, I was like, did they name this song after themselves, but I don't think so. I think it's just the song. But it is a great song. Here's my favorite part.
I like this song a lot too. I like it more than the last one.
More than your last one?
Your last one.
Oh.
But I still like the last one a lot.
You got to talk in your mic because nobody can hear you.
I like it a lot more than
Yeah.
the last one. But I still like the last one.
It was a great choice, Kate. Good job. I'll give you.
I'll give you one guess. What do you think my number
Good
one
job.
is? Actually, no, we'll do it before my number one goes up.
Yeah, same me.
Okay. Well, for this one, I'll give you.
Good job.
A good
Ready
job.
for mine?
Yeah, Jet. What are we on? Number 3?
Yes.
All right, hang on. Let me turn the volume up. What's your number 3? Another one that I left off my list because I thought one of you guys will have it for sure. This is a great song.
This would have made my number 5, but like it brought I used to like the song a lot, but then there's parodies made of it, and it's like, oh my god, now I don't like the song anymore.
This is the name of this.
Reminds me of Stranger Things with Steve and Nancy.
Oh, it is the Stranger Things.
They do play it.
Yeah, isn't it when they're like making out?
Yeah, like when they're studying and stuff.
Yeah, and they start making out. It's called Africa by Toto. I of course know the song from the 80s, but I kind of rediscovered this when I was in college because one of my favorite college artists, his name's Howie Day, did a cover of this song that is amazing. It's really good. It's like as good.
Is it better than the original?
It's like as good, I would say. It just kind of depends what mood you're in. If you want to hear 80s, you listen to this one. If you want to hear a really good acoustic cover, you listen to Howie Day's. But awesome song, yeah, for sure. This one, when I was making my list today, I spent all this time narrowing it down to 5 choices, a worst, and like a couple honorable mentions, and I left all these songs out. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot Africa by Toto. Oh my gosh. So I put it down as an honorable mention, and I thought about changing my list, but I thought, no, Jet's going to have this on his.
Yeah,
okay, one of you guys will.
Do you know what's really funny is a few days ago, my best friend Dean, whose birthday is today actually, he knows the song,
Yeah?
and we got in trouble a few days ago. Not in big trouble, they just told us to stop, but we were singing it in the hallway.
Oh, really? It's a fun song to
like
sing.
Loud.
I wish I knew all the words. I don't even know what he says half the time.
Yeah.
I know most of it.
But it's fun to sing.
I like this part.
Dingy, dingy, ding, that part. When we're in the car and this comes on, I always do that,
Yeah.
right?
You do on the steering wheel.
Yeah. I love this song. Good job. Good choice.
You're gonna give him a good job?
Should I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I guess.
Good job.
What do you mean, I guess?
I'm just messing around. I love that song. Good job. All right, my number 3. I imagine you guys will probably have this on your list. I'm probably Cade will. I don't know about you, Jet, but here it is.
Don't spoil it. Honorable mention. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not on your list.
No.
I'm glad.
I'm changing up
'Cause
my
we'll-
list a little bit and be more creative instead of like, okay, of course it's going to be on this list.
Well, I'm glad because it gives us some variety. I was afraid that we'd all have this on our list. Jet, this one's not on yours either?
No, but I would. I don't know. I was thinking of it earlier, but I just couldn't put it over Bad. I love Bad.
That's fine. It's called Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds.
Even though the original's way, way, way better, it still reminds me of Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect. I was going to say that. It was part of the soundtrack for a very successful film called The Breakfast Club, right? In 1985.
Is that movie good?
Oh, yeah. You haven't seen it? No. Have you? What?
We were going to one night, but you fell asleep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that is our next movie night. The Breakfast Club.
But I know this scene.
Yeah, this is the very end.
Yeah.
When he raises his arm up. I think this song had some success because the movie was successful, but I also think the movie was successful because the soundtrack was so good. And I know you guys learned about the song during Pitch Perfect, and that was a fun addition of it too. It's a great song. I never get tired of it. It is like quintessentially 80s to the core, like everything about it.
Sounds so 80s to me.
It totally is like the 80s song, and it's in like the 80s movie. Peaked at number 1 on the Billboard charts in 1985. So, Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me.
You know,
an interesting fact about Stranger Things, the actors in real life, Mike, Lucas, and Dustin, they all say they love the 80s and like their favorite movie is like The Breakfast Club and stuff, they said.
Yeah.
But 11, did you know she's like actually really new? She hardly knows anything about the 80s.
Well, they're all very young, and I think that they had to like learn. They didn't have to,
Not
but
the boys though.
They chose to learn a lot about the 80s because they were playing these very like hardcore 80s roles. And that was part of the process. Well, if you're gonna, I can't believe you guys have. I feel like I failed you as a father that you guys haven't seen The Breakfast Club yet. That is like one of the most 80s movies you'll ever see.
We'll see it like this weekend.
I'm tempted to like call off work and pull you guys out of school tomorrow and stay up late and watch it tonight.
I want to do it.
I can't do that. I gotta go to P&O tomorrow.
What's P&O?
It's a meeting. It's like 8 hours long.
So, I've told you this story before, Dad. Last year, I rode the bus, and about like a 45-minute bus ride to get home.
Yeah.
And I had like the best people on the bus. Like it was all a bunch of theater kids, and they all knew about the 80s and 90s and whatever.
Yeah.
And like they're like the coolest kids I've ever met.
Yeah.
And we sang so many songs.
Did you guys sing this
so
song?
much trouble. Yeah, we sang that song. It was so funny because our bus driver would pull the bus over sometimes.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "You guys need to stop singing." Like, I'm like, "Come on, you don't even have the radio on. Why can't we just?"
Yeah, you're providing the music. It's like, who needs a radio?
Wait,
Mark,
was this on the bus?
Yeah. Ing. Yeah. Bird. Yeah.
Dumb and
Wait.
Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Good job.
Kate, wait, it was on the bus?
Yeah.
Your bus is way cooler than mine.
Okay, our bus now is really annoying.
My
was
bus
last year.
right now is so lame. They go fluffy duck fire truck.
That is lame. I'd much rather sing Breakfast Club or Don't You Forget About Me.
Yeah.
All right, Cade, what is your
Number 2.
My number 2 is
also my number 2?
Sweet.
Yeah, this is also
I
my
love
number
this
2.
song.
Is this on your list?
No.
Here we go. It's called The Promise
I love this song.
by When in Rome. Cade, why is this your number 2?
I don't know when I knew about the song or where I heard it from, but it's great.
I'm sure.
It's a good song.
I'm sure it was for me because
Yeah, it's gotta be for
I've always loved this song. It's also my number 2.
Have you heard this song a lot of times, though?
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite songs to sing like ever in the car. It's just one of those songs you can't help but sing along to it, even if you don't know all the words. Like
You mumble
you
it.
mumble it because it's just so catchy. It was released in 1987, peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100.
87 had a lot of songs.
Sure did.
Was number 1 was that Janet Jackson song?
That was in 1990, Escapade.
But what is in the 80s?
A lot of stuff. I don't know. I don't think it was in any 80s movies, and I think that I've never heard of another song from When in Rome, so I believe they're like a one-hit wonder. But I do know in Napoleon Dynamite, which is not an 80s movie, that was a
Napoleon
2000s movie, but Napoleon Dynamite, he's playing tetherball with Deb, the girl, at the end of the movie, and it's like the sweetest moment in the movie because like they kind of win and they're having this moment together, and you know they kind of like each other, and they're playing tetherball. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
And they're playing this song in the background, and it's like this movie that's like so stupid and funny has this kind of like touching moment at the end, and this song is just perfect for it. I think.
It's a great
Well,
movie.
I thought it was in the 90s, Napoleon Dynamite. When was it released?
I think it was the early 2000s.
I love that movie.
I
didn't finish it, though. I need to watch the
Oh,
rest
you
of
fell
it.
asleep, didn't you?
Yeah. This kid, my friend, he said he was going to do the dance for the talent show this year. He's going to dress like him and everything.
Yeah. There's actually a cover of this song that was done by kind of a folk artist named Sturgill Simpson, and you guys should check that out if you haven't heard it. He did this song, and he also did the song "In Bloom" by Nirvana.
It's a great song.
He covered both of those, and they're really different, like very folky sounding, but they're both really fun to
I
listen to.
love this song so much.
Yeah, this is a great song.
All right, ready for mine?
Just about. Let me turn the volume back up for you, bud.
Can I guess?
Oh yeah,
No.
no, this is number 2. We're gonna try to guess his number 1.
All right. Makes sense.
All right, Jet, play your number 2. I could have guessed this one as well.
Yeah, you could have.
Do you know what it is yet, Cade? Do you want me to skip past the intro?
Is this Faith?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It's got kind of a long intro.
You guys hate this song.
I don't hate it.
Oh, Kate does. You like
I don't hate it. It's just
You like the dumb version better.
George Michael has better songs.
No
Than
way.
this? What song do you like? Father Figure?
All I figure.
That's a good one.
I love this.
This is a good song. I like this song. I think I like the Limp Bizkit version better,
I
which is
do.
weird because I
Limp
normally
Bizkit is-
I normally don't like covers, and I don't like Limp Bizkit at all. But that song is fun to rock out to. He just plays.
So
He plays it
annoyed
so
by
hard.
you guys liking that, especially you, Dad.
I know. I like this version too. I don't hate it.
And when I first heard this song, I was like, I didn't know it, but I was like, hey, this is not bad, you know?
Yeah. When I made my list of 35 original, this was on that list. I just didn't make my cut. But it's a good song. I know you like this song a lot. Do you know all the words to it?
No, but I know some.
Yeah.
I think Limp Bizkit sings it better.
No.
He screams it better. It's a good song, Jet. I don't hate on it. Kay does a little bit sometimes, but that's okay.
If I'm like not in a good mood and the song plays, I'm like, oh my god.
I think it has to do with you guys, like, you know, choosing to pick on each other. Like, yeah. If Jet likes something or if Kay likes something, you guys will like purposely like really
But
not like
I feel
it.
like,
Or like the opposite.
But I
Yeah.
feel like 80s we agree on a lot of stuff the most.
Yeah, maybe.
I like all 80 songs except some.
Okay. Anything else, Jet, about your number 2? Faith?
No, not
All right.
really. Oh, it reminds me of Lion King.
Of Lion King.
It's just it
What?
feels like it's a like a tempo of the Lion King, like
Hakuna Matata?
like a music, yeah.
Okay. I could see that a little bit. All right, my number 2 was The Promise by When in Rome, which we've already talked about.
Yes,
So let's
okay.
move on to
Guess
Cade.
my number one.
Cade's.
Number 1.
All right, am I going to guess your number?
One guess.
Okay, let me think
then
about
Jet
this
gets
for a
one.
minute.
Wait, Jed, do you have one?
This is tough. I know I have a definite guess for Jet.
Yeah, you already know my one.
Cade's number 1 80s song.
Is Bike Girl?
I'm not giving you any hints.
This is going to be a shot in the dark, and I'm going to pick a popular artist. I'm going to go with Michael Jackson, and I'm going to say Smooth Criminal. I have no idea.
You guys are
What's
way
that
off.
girl that?
Cyndi Lauper?
Not a girl.
Yeah.
Not a girl.
Oh,
not
Phil
a girl.
Collins.
No.
Okay, just play it.
Okay.
Bon Jovi. Oh, I should have known this because you were asking about it earlier.
Yeah. Wait, I'm
See-
gonna skip to the best part.
436.
Yeah.
I've memorized this because I listened to the song religiously
I'll
when I
play
was
it just a
kid.
little bit so we can talk like right before.
Sure. So this is what One by Metallica.
I love this song.
Amazing song, for sure. Like, amazing song and amazing band. I didn't think of it because I was thinking 80s songs.
This
and
is still my
this
favorite
is like
song by
a rock
Metallica.
song. Oh, yeah, me too.
It's like pure rock.
Yeah.
But
This is...
I have the best memories from. I have really good memories from Metallica. This song, and like when I was really little and wearing that jacket, and I was in our old house in your office singing Master Puppets as
Yeah.
a baby,
Yeah.
screaming it. But this one, I remember. You would be like on the computer, and we'd be like talking to you, and this song would be playing.
Yeah, I've listened to the song a lot of times. I really loved it growing up. This album came out, I want to say 89. Like, this barely made the 80s, I'm pretty sure. I could look that up, I guess, while we talk. They had other albums in the 80s that were older, like Master of Puppets.
Yeah, but I always thought of Metallica in the 90s.
This whole song
Their
is a
best-
great song.
Their biggest album, their most like commercially successful album, was in the early 90s. But their best albums were in the 80s. Like, when they were a little bit more metal. This came out in 88. So towards the end of the 80s, and definitely an 80s song, but not an 80s song. So that's why I couldn't think of it. But yeah, I'm with you. I like it. I love this song. Good choice, Cade.
I had to have something. I was like, I don't have a rock song. Oh wait.
All right,
I was like, wait a second. I thought Metallica was only 90s because
Yeah.
I'd never paid attention to the release dates. But I was looking through your top 50. I saw One. I was like, One's my number one.
Yeah. That's a great
So
song. Are you ready to move on to Jets?
Yeah.
you already know my number.
Yours has got to be
On
Take On
Me.
Me. I mean, I know you love that song. This might be your favorite song, period. Well, second, maybe.
It's so close to first, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love this song.
So this song, it's a great song.
This beat's even better than Africa's.
You like this beat better? This song is very, very 80s. I mean, the synthesizers and the beat and it's catchy. And
Love the video.
that's
I
what
think
was
you can
gonna-
play on a guitar.
Yeah, you can
That's
play
my
on a guitar.
That's my favorite music video ever, probably.
I was gonna say it's just as known for its video as it is for the actual song. It's it's like animated in pencil, and he like walks into it.
Another weird thing, like Lion King of Faith, this reminds me of He-Man.
He-Man.
I don't know
Right.
why. It seems like He-Man would be playing.
Yeah, this is a great
That
song.
was a meme. The song played in a meme, like the old memes, like the really, really, really dumb ones that we used to
Yeah.
watch like all the time. There used to be a He-Man meme where there would be like a rainbow in the background. They played songs, 80 songs. It wouldn't make any sense, but it'd be like, it was a popular meme. The video's called Hey Ya 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 on YouTube. It has like 1 billion views.
People are so weird. Anything else to say about Take On Me?
This song got ruined for me by a Minecraft parody.
Well, don't watch those.
Yeah.
You watch those all the time. There's an
on the
Africa.
bus.
This is a fun song to sing too, and it's a really fun one to do karaoke. And you think you're like rocking, and then you get to the part where it gets really high, and you realize, oh, I can't get that high. Oh my god, what am I gonna
it's
do?
so hard.
It is hard, but I do it in the car all the time, right?
Yeah, you got it. I remember you got it perfectly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can get there.
It's so
Most of the time,
high.
I can't do it.
I
This
can't
also
do it.
reminds me of Family Guy when they're going shopping. Oh, like the whole family's going shopping. Peter's doing whatever.
Yeah.
And Chris is walking through like the cereal aisle, and a hand grabs him like in pencil and it pulls him through the aisle. And then like they go through the whole video, and the guy's running with guns, and the guy and Chris escapes through the wall,
Yeah.
and he comes like out of like the cans, and Lois is like, "Oh my gosh, Chris, what happened?" He goes, "I don't know, I'm scared."
Family Guy. You guys have any guesses for my number one?
It's so hard to tell. I don't know.
I will say before I play it, I had a really, really hard time with my list, but picking up my number one was actually really easy.
What is it? I can't guess it.
Oh,
This is actually a number one.
It's my number one, and you should know why, Jet.
because you sang it to him.
Oh, this is The World Stops. Yeah, you sang it to me as a baby. Is this one of your favorite songs ever?
Yeah, it is. It was released in '82. It peaked. It didn't have a lot of like commercial success when it came out. It peaked at number 78 on the Billboard Top 100. It was number 7 on the Billboard's Top Tracks. I don't know the difference. But despite limited chart success, it has endured as a classic. It's viewed as one of the top 80 songs, top one-hit wonder tracks. It's been covered many times, but all of that has very little to do with why it's my number one.
This is our song, Dad.
This is our song. This is me and Jet's song. I would sing it to Jet when he was like just a tiny little baby.
Would I
in my
would it calm me
arms.
down or
It would.
something?
It always seemed to calm you down if you were crying, and if you weren't crying, it would put a smile on your face.
Like that?
Yeah, like one of your
I
cute
love
little
that picture
chubby
in that
cheek
room when I like
smiles.
smile so big.
Yeah, that is a cute picture. So it's very, very special to me, because of that, because it's our song. I think this will always be, our song.
I love this song.
You really like the part when you were little, the humming part.
Yeah, I love that part still.
So when I would get to that part, you would just smile. So
Was I cute?
you were cute. You were super cute. Both of you were super cute. Still are.
Thank you.
I was cuter because I was fat and stuff.
You were a really chubby baby.
But you're pretty skinny now.
Yeah, you're really skinny now.
Yeah.
You got the cheeks, young.
Let's see if I can find that. Here it is.
I love this part.
Mm-hmm.
This song reminds me of like the earth with a ton of chocolate on it.
So if you're ever upset, Jet, just come to my room, knock on the door, come inside, and I will sing this for you, even if you're 35 years old. Okay?
Okay.
That's our song. All right, so that's my number one. You guys ready to move on? Okay, do you have any...
Honorable mentions.
Yes, I do. And my first honorable mention that should have made my list is "Push It" by Salt and Pepper.
That's a good song. I mean, it's a classic 80s song, hip hop wise. Do you know why I kind of like that song?
It's because of Jet, right?
No, it's actually started before Jet. It was with you. I used to, the song I used to sing to you when you were brushing your teeth. Brush your teeth
Oh, yeah,
all
wasn't it
night
based on
long.
that song or
Brush,
something?
brush, brush while I sing this song. Brush your teeth all the day. Brush, brush, brush all the plaque away. Well, I'd sing this to you, and we would sing it a couple times. That was like how to time how long to brush your teeth. But sometimes I would do a remix, and I would say, oh, brush it real good.
Dude, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
We would laugh too.
Brush it real good. Yeah, so I used to sing that to you.
I have Phil Collins songs on his list. It's like top 5.
My favorite one is "Take Me Home."
I think it was, of course, what's it called?
I know what you're talking. In the
Yeah.
air tonight.
Yeah,
I can
But,
hear it calling.
like it's like good for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, the boom, 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 boom. That part.
Yeah. And then, but
When the beat drops.
otherwise, yeah. But the other song is better overall.
Yeah.
I had Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
My favorite song is True Colors.
That's a good one. She also had Time After Time.
Yeah.
And Girls Just Want to Have
Oh,
Fun.
yeah.
And she had the Goonies song.
Oh, yeah.
Good enough.
I like that song.
I
a good
had
one.
Every Breath You Take by The Police.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I had Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. I had Guns N' Roosters.
Which one? Paradise City or
November
Paradise
Rain.
City.
November Rain? I don't know if that's 80s. I think that's 90s.
All right, well then it's Paradise City.
There's Paradise City and there's Welcome to the
Sweet
Jungle.
What about Sweet Child?
Sweet Child of Mine. That's
Yeah.
80s, yeah.
Like a Virgin.
Madonna?
Yeah. The other one, like a... what
Like a
was it?
Prayer.
Yeah.
That one was my favorite as a kid, but it's not the one I picked from my honorable mention list.
I had, what's it called? I Want You to Know What Love Is.
I Want to Know What Love Is. Yeah.
Foreigner.
Foreigner's great.
Drive, The Cars.
Yeah, that was one I had a hard time leaving off my list.
I had Bon Jovi and Journey.
Drive.
You know the
I'll play
songs
it
by
for you.
them.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Everyone knows them. And I had Take On Me.
What's
Okay.
your top pick? Drive.
We already- we-
what's your band name? Cars. That's so stupid.
We already discussed the Africa and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
All right, Jack, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes. Shout out. I was on Facebook earlier, and loyal listener Shelly Bennett commented of your favorite 80s song, and this is an honorable mention.
Are you going to actually play an honorable mention? Hold on, I don't have the volume
I
on.
only have one honorable mention.
Oh, okay. Footloose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a good one, too. This reminds me of the skating rink. Man, they play this song at the skating rink when I was schooling everybody, lapping them.
Were you good? You were
Oh,
good
I was
at?
so fast,
You
yeah.
need to try hard. That was just focused on running. Like
No, because
You're
like
skating
I
as
would
fast
just
as you
skate
can?
normal, but then they would do races.
Oh,
would
would
you
win?
cream everyone?
Yeah. Well, me and my friend Scott Rosen, who was like an Olympic level gymnast by the time he
was
got
he
to his
better
teenage
than
years.
you?
I think I was a little bit faster because I was taller. I had longer legs, but he was super fast too. And me and him would win all the time. We owned.
Would you be
we
like
owned the
neck
skating
and
rink.
neck and creaming everyone?
Yeah, yeah. I loved having my birthday party there, and they had this machine where you would go inside a booth, and they would turn on this like fan from the bottom that would blow air, and they would put blow dollar bills up in the air, and you had to have one hand behind your back, and the other one you could grab dollar bills, as many as you could get while you were in there.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really hard though. Like if you got 5 or 6, you did really well.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good one, Jet. It's from a movie called Footloose. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Yeah.
But
The
didn't you
movie's
tell me it's a
alright.
bad movie?
Yeah, it's not that great. I mean, it's okay.
What's it about?
It's a
the
long story.
premise is so stupid. It's Kevin Bacon, the actor, when he's a teenager, moves into this like kind of like country town in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if it's in Kansas or something like that. And
Sounds boring.
yeah, and they have like outlawed dancing from this town. Like nobody's allowed to dance, but he's like a dancer, and he wants to like rebel and dance. So he like does it on his own, and he like takes some of the kids to this club that's like in another city, so they can go dancing. And then
Do they do a big dance at the end?
yeah,
Like,
it's like their fight against the establishment. They have this big dance at the end. It's really silly.
Oh, wait. Why was it illegal for them to...
It was like a very church-based town, and they thought dancing like
the Puritans.
led people to do things that were bad. So yeah,
That's a stupid plot.
yeah, I know. All right, that's your only one.
But stuff like that actually existed before.
It did. You're right. It has existed before.
And then they outlawed music back
Yeah.
then too. And
Yeah, people have done dumb things. All right, so I had the Human by the Human League was one that I had a really hard time leaving off. My Madonna song that I picked was Cherish. You know that one?
yeah, you told me about this. What's your favorite?
I liked that one a lot when I was a kid. I think We're Alone Now by Tiffany. I think we're alone now. That doesn't
yeah.
seem to. You know that song, Chet?
I forgot the "I Got You Where I Want You" song.
That's not 80s.
That's not 80s.
No, that's late 90s. I had Africa by Toto and Alone by Heart, the one that I always ask your sissy to sing on karaoke. Now, Jet, I also had Drive by the Cars. Do you know what song that is?
No, but that's a really weird name.
I've played it for you before, like because
I've heard of it and stuff.
I love this song, but I did not put it on my list because I don't know.
I think this used to be your favorite.
Yeah, I love this song.
It's just kind of a stupid hymn, Drive by the Cars.
You know the song though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this song.
Yeah, it's a good song. All right, so those were my honorable mentions. Now, I had a whole bunch that I listed like Cade. I'm not going to go. I'll just scroll through this really quick and see if there are any that we didn't mention yet. Cruel Summer by Bananarama. That's a good one. I had a couple Janet Jackson songs, Level Never Do and Rhythm Nation. Where's My Mind by the Pixies. Where is my mind? It's a kind of a rock song. Just Like Heaven by The Cure. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. That's a really good one.
Play that one. I really like that song.
Sure.
I forgot it though. I forgot how it goes, but I know I like that song.
Another kind of classic 80s sounding song. I'll talk over it for my other ones.
I know this song.
Yeah, this one's a famous one. I had Need You Tonight by NXS, In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel, Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. That's the Top Gun Danger Zone song. I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2.
Oh, U2. I like U2.
Yeah. Forever Your Girl by Paula Abdul.
Paula. I forgot Paula Abdul.
The Right Stuff by New Kids on the Block. I did have one by Metallica and a couple others. So I had a whole bunch that I had to cut off. I had a really hard time. We talked about a lot of them already.
I forgot Rush. Aren't they 80s?
They are 80s.
I didn't.
Jet didn't forget. But he didn't pick them for his best. We'll just put it that way. He's gonna try to upset me later. Maybe I'll just
moving on.
Maybe I'll just edit it out.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. Those were my honorable mentions. Cade, are we ready to do your
Worst?
I knew you were gonna pick this. I knew it.
This is the worst, but the best.
I actually like this
It's actually not a bad song. Like, if you've never been rickrolled before and you never seen what the guy looked like and how cheesy it is, like, the problem is he sounds like he's 40 when he's singing it, but then you see him and he's like 15 and like dancing really awkwardly. And you sing this song all the time. How could you pick this as your worst? And you do the dance all the time.
It's just a bad song, but I love it because it's bad.
It's not that bad.
It's a good song, but just very
It's
bad.
been ruined for me like millions of times.
It's been ruined,
and it's been played so much on the internet. It's like, okay, now I'm sick of this. Like, really sick of this.
I can understand that, but really, it's not that bad of a song. I don't think it is.
Never gonna say goodbye.
I lost my playlist, and that's not good. Kate is dancing, doing the rickroll dance that he does every single day, even though he hates this song. I don't even believe it anymore. All right, so that's your worst. Jet, well, let's just skip your worst. Yeah? The reason Kate's laughing is because often when we get... This
song is 20 minutes long.
This song is called 2112 Overture by Rush. And it is. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because this is a really good song. So this is... Jet's right. It is 20 minutes long. So what happens is we get in the car and we pull up Spotify and we take turns queuing up songs. So Kate will queue up a song, and then Jet will queue up a song, and then I'll queue up a song. And I always do this one because it's like 20 minutes and it's going to take up the whole ride. And it's just to annoy the boys. You guys always fast forward through it, of course, but
Yeah.
this is a good song though.
Some parts. I mean, like 20 minutes. Like, how can you record for that long? I mean,
For the first 2 minutes is good, then the other 18 suck.
The first 2 minutes are kind of weird. Yeah, it makes like weird sound effects, and I'm like, let me listen to the first minute, and you're like, okay, fine, but it's still making weird sound effects. I'm like, wait, minute and a half, and you're like, okay, fine. You won't let me get any farther than that before you change it.
you just skip it to like 2 minutes, and then you'll hear the song.
Yeah, it's a good song though. Jet, you're just doing that to upset me.
No.
Okay. For my worst, I had 3 songs that I considered that every time I hear them, I just get annoyed. You Spin Me Round by Dead or Alive. You spin me right round, baby, right round.
That's from the 80s?
Yeah, I hate that song. Word Up.
I thought that was like 2007.
No. Word Up by Cameo, which I'm not even going to attempt to sing. You guys can listen to it at your own leisure. Horrible song. They're close runners up. But this one is the one I picked as my worst. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'll fast forward.
I haven't heard this song.
Why Why do you hate it so much?
I'm trying to get to the chorus. See if you guys recognize this part.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
Sure you've heard it? I mean, it's actually a really popular song. It's been around a long time. They play it in movies and stuff. I don't know why. It's called Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
I've never heard it.
I get like legitimately angry when I hear this song. Like I will rage quit my radio if this comes on. It just triggers me. So that's my worst.
Well, now let's try this one.
Okay. This is Word Up. Here, I'll fast
Oh my
forward it.
gosh, the album.
Oh, whoa! I forgot.
You know this song, Jet?
No, but it sounds really bad.
Oh man,
Wait.
I don't like this.
Here, listen. Oh, I thought that was the chorus.
I left off you guys talk. I left off an honorable mention I'm going to play because I love the song.
Okay. Yeah, this is Word Up. Horrible song. Maybe worse than Relax, but Relax is like still relevant, I feel like. And
You know,
right, you
I
guys ready?
thought this would be your worst, Dad. I really thought.
oh, that's a good one too. I wouldn't say it's my worst though. Oh, Jet already changed it. This is not 80s though, bro. This is 90s. This is the dance that you do all the
way.
time.
This is so 80s.
No, this is 90s. The original one.
No, it's 80s.
I'm like 99% sure the second Ninja Turtles came out in the 90s, but I will look it up for you.
Dude, it's 80s.
Ninja Turtles 2. Let's see. Where's Secret of the Ooze? 1991.
Whatever.
Okay, but really though, because you guys didn't get to hear it, but I thought this was Dad's worst because you hate this song.
I don't like this song. I don't know why.
It's kind of cheesy.
It is really cheesy.
Don't they
It's
play in Rocky?
The beginning is cool. Yeah, it's the Rocky song. I like the beginning, but then when he starts singing, I'm like, I'm done. So I'm going to pause that now.
Play me cry.
And we got to get on. We got to get moving and get past the songs that I don't like. So let's move on to some listener choices.
I make a way better laser sound than you.
I asked Facebook, what is your favorite 80s song? And I'm not going to list all of them. Now, I will say we had 89 votes, which is a lot, like more than we usually get. We usually get like 50 votes. So 89, a lot of people were passionate about their favorite 80s song. They wanted to share their choices. 89 results. But of those 89, I'm going to tell you right now, of the 89, 78 of them only had one vote. So there were hardly any that got multiple votes. So I will just go ahead and read you down from 5 to 1 because there were only 5 songs that got more than one vote. Tied for number 5 is Jump by Van Halen. You guys know that song?
Jump.
No, that's Criss Cross.
We just live in CrossFit today.
Jumper.
No,
I wish you would step back from that ledge.
that's
my
not
friend.
80s either. So Jump from Van Halen. Master of Puppets
Oh.
got 2 votes also.
Metallica.
Jump was voted on by Chris Champ and Shelley Bennett. Master of Puppets by Ashton Puffer and Gail Rudd Kolodny. Forever and Ever Amen, which is a country song. Forever and ever, amen. That was voted on by Sabrina Manshart and Shelley Bennett. Also
Mimi.
tied, the only other one that got 2 votes, I Want to Dance with Somebody. And number 1, the only song that got 3 votes, I don't even know if you guys know the song. It's called Epic by Faith No More. I will play it for you real quick.
I bet if I hear it, I'll know it.
You don't know this song?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
No idea.
So, very surprising. Very surprising to me that
Number
I forgot a lot.
number 1 song as voted by our listeners
I'm
You know what?
disgusted.
with
You know
just 3 votes because everybody else voted for 78 people voted for just one song. They
You
got
know
not
what
more
was
than one
weird
vote.
Is I didn't hear anyone's list have "We Built the City" by Starship.
Oh yeah, Starship has some
and
great songs.
Nothing's gonna stop us.
Nothing's gonna stop us now. Yeah, nobody mentioned Starship. Nobody in the listener choices did either. This song, Epic, was voted on by Chris Champ, Julia Geffen-Rogers, and Shelley Bennett. Shelley provided like 50 songs, by the way, so her name's all over the list.
Mimi.
Yeah.
Meme.
All right, well, that's it, unless you guys have anything else to add? No? All right. Well, thanks to everybody for taking the time to listen. Please check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/5to1podcast. or tweet us at 5 to 1 podcast. We have an Insta account at 5 to 1 podcast. Give us your opinions there. Let us know why you agree or why you think we're idiots. I forgot one thing before we wrap up. I said I would give a shout out because Missy Fawn...
Missy Elliott?
No. Missy Fawn Anise Farrick, who is Lane's wife, she voted for The Promise by
Thank you.
When in Rome that you and I had as our number 2, Cade. And I commented on there, ooh, that made my top 5. Spoiler. And she said, that deserves a shout out. So I'm giving Missy Fawn Anise Farrick a shout out right now for your listener feedback choice of The Promise.
Speaking of Lane and speaking of music, bruh, make sure you make that 5 to 1 song.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that. Also, please give us a review on iTunes, or I guess they call it Apple Podcasts now, but whatever it's called. We welcome all feedback, especially good feedback, and it helps our podcast gain exposure. We have a phone number, and we love voicemails, and we haven't gotten one in a while. So somebody call us. It's 469-607-521. That's 469-607-5861. Jet, do you have a topic picked out for next week yet?
I was thinking
2000s.
top 5, I don't know.
Okay, let's do 2000s clothing trends.
That's very limiting.
Top 5 presidents.
I brought that one up a long time ago, and you were like, that's going to be so boring. I don't even know 5 presidents.
I know 8.
So you want to do top 5 presidents?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So
wait, speaking of presidents, what's Obama's last name?
Shut up. No, his last name is Obama. And his first name is not Baraka. It's Barack. Baraka is a character on Mortal Kombat. So please join us next time on 5 to 1 for our discussion on...
Top 5 presidents. What?
You don't have to say top 5. I already said 5 to 1.
Top 5 presidents.
Love you.